Hello, it's Cassie Hicks here from Modern Marketing Spark. I hope you're well. Now, I hosted a webinar last night on updating your social media profiles for maximum impact. I shared 3 ways to power boost your social media profiles and then showed you how to apply those on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Now, I was testing out Webinar Express for the first time last night, had a few technical challenges. So although I did give the presentation and there were some lovely people on the call, we actually weren't able to interact. And what I wanted to do, my plan was to do 20 minutes of training and then a live Q&A and some case studies. And unfortunately that didn't quite happen as I hoped that it would. So best intentions with modern technology and all of that. So I've decided to make this video. I'm going to cover the how to boost your social media profiles presentation, and what I would love you to do is to send me any questions through Facebook or Google+, and I'll answer those questions either in a video or live on the site. And I'd love to do some case studies too, so if you'd like me to look at your social media profiles, send them over to me, let me know, and I'm really happy to do that because I was planning to do that live on the webinar last night. So welcome to Webinar Wednesday. This is the recording Webinar Wednesday. So I want to cover with you 3 tips, my top 3 tips for optimizing your social media profiles. And what does that mean? Social media profiles are the about section, if you like, of your social media pages. So let's start with Facebook, because Facebook's a good way to demonstrate the 3 tips. And my first tip, so grab a coffee and a notepad and a pen if you haven't already got one. My first tip is keywords. You must have your keywords for your business, and I recommend between 5 and 10 keywords, and use those consistently across all your social media. In fact, there was a question, I was asked a question last night on the webinar about consistency across social media platforms, and it's really important that you have the same keywords and branding and cover images across all of your platforms. So whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, any other platforms that you're using, be consistent, because what you're trying to do is to build yourself you're trying to position yourself as an expert and build up your credibility to establish yourself online. And so when people come to your page, they want to know instantly that it's you. They want to see. And so, for example, if I use myself, I've got Modern Marketing Spark here on my Facebook page. I'm on a different page here. Let me go to my profile on Google+. You can see I've got the same cover image here, same colours, same image, same branding. LinkedIn slightly different. I'll just go to my profile. But I've got my same profile picture and my same keywords, and the same on Twitter. Let's go to my Twitter profile. I've got my branding here down the sides, same graphics, and then there's my keywords. So everywhere that you see Modern Marketing Spark on social media, I've got consistent keywords, consistent branding, and you know that it's me. You know you're in the right place, and you've got that very consistent branding, and that's really going to strengthen your brand and help you to get found online, especially if you're using the same keywords. So that's my first tip. Let me show you on Facebook how to update your about section. So I've just clicked on about there, and as you can see, you've got information here, you've got a template you can fill in. And what I've done, I've taken my keywords and put them into this about section here. Now, really an important tip is to put your website address, put that as the first thing in the about section. So before you put anything else, this is your description of the business, you want to put your keyword, and that's my tip number 2. So put and it needs to be a hyperlink, so you need to have the http:// so that's a clickable link, and you can see the little hand symbols coming up. So I go back to my business page on Facebook, that's a clickable link. So when people come to my Facebook page, they can click through to my website from there. So make sure you've got your keywords in there, make sure you put as much information as you can, because what people do is when they come to your page, they want to know about you. One of the first things people will do is they'll look at your profile on the different social media platforms. So you want to present your best side. You want people will only generally take about 3 seconds to have a look at your website or your page. So people do flit around very, very quickly. So you've got to really catch their eye and tell them how you can help them and what you do straight away. So that's why keywords are so important. Also remember that within the different social media platforms, that's within Facebook at the moment, people will be using the search bar here and searching for people and groups in the areas of their interest, and they're going to do that using certain keywords. Now, one other thing you can do is you see the little pencil marks come up here on edit, is you can put your website in the contact information as well. So if people trying to contact you, you've already got it up here, but it doesn't hurt to have it down here as well. Put it in the website section there. And then also under basic information here on the right hand side, I've put some of my products, because I've got my website here and here. Rather than just put the same thing 3 times, I've actually got direct hyperlinks to my products. I've got my Modern Marketing Guide here, my Make Money blogging, and my WordPress Fast Start course. So I'm actually directly promoting products from within my Facebook profile there. Tip number 3. So number 1 is keywords, number 2 is to have your link in the About section, number 3 is cover image. And let me show you, I covered this actually in a lot of detail on a blog post recently in Modern Marketing Spark. There's so much you can do to boost your business online with cover images. Here you are, it's this one here, Dominate Your Social Media Space, with a cover photo makeover, and there's a lot of information in there. I've got lots of examples of really, really good social media covers and graphics and some clever things that people have done. So have a look at that, and then at the bottom there's a step-by-step guide to updating your cover images, because I'm not planning to cover that on this call. So go and have a look at that blog post. It's mmspark.com dominate-social-media. So that's the link to it there, or just go to the mmspark blog. But very, very easy to do on Facebook. Just hover over the cover graphic there and click on change cover. You can either use an image that you've used on your page, or I recommend that you actually have an image designed, and again I cover that in the blog post. So have a cover graphic designed. Now that Facebook have changed the rules, you can have some text on that cover image. You've got to stay with the 20% rule. I've got a blog post on that as well on the mmspark blog, of how there's a calculator you can use to make sure that you're not going over that 20%. But you can have, you can see here, this isn't a hyperlink, but it is a link. I've put here a URL to one of my products. I've got a nice picture here. It's nice and bright. It's in my branding, and there's a picture of one of my, that's the Modern Marketing freebie. So what I suggest as well is that you have consistent covers across all your social media, but that you update them quite regularly, because remember, an added bonus is that if you update your covers, that update will appear in people's news feeds. It will say Modern Marketing Sparks just updated her cover image. So that's Facebook. Let's move on to Twitter now. So the 3 rules. Number 1 is keywords. So we're going to go into either home or the me section here and edit profile, and then all you've got to do in Twitter, you can literally just edit your profile here. I'm not going to change mine, but you've only got a certain number of characters within the Twitter profile to do this, but there's enough room to put everything in there. I slightly change, I add my keywords depending on the platform. For example, with Twitter, because I do more, I suppose, socialising than I do on my Facebook business page, I've got here mother, and sometimes I've got dog lover, because that's just another aspect to who I am outside my business persona, if you like. It's always worth having a really good cover picture, a professional headshot, and then a graphic that represents your business, because again, when people are looking at you, when people are looking at your tweets and wondering whether to follow you, the first thing they'll do is look at your profile, and you've only got a few seconds to show somebody that you're relevant. They'll see how often you've been tweeting, and also they'll look at your cover image and get an idea. For me, I'm all about helping women. It's about being dynamic, about being modern, so I've got a picture of a woman skipping across her fantastic results there. And so that's number 1 and number 3. Number 2 is the link, and this isn't a hyperlink here, but I have got my website link in here, so make sure that you do include that in your profile, and then save changes. So let's go to LinkedIn next, and just go to profile and edit profile. let's take our 3 tips again. So number 1 is keywords, and what I'm going to do, this keywords need to be in 2 places on your LinkedIn profile, right up at the top here, which they call a headline. And you don't want to be a robot, you don't want to just put loads and loads of keywords here. This has got to be written for human readers, if you like. You want to attract people but tell people what you do, and you've only got a certain amount of space to do that. So for me, modern marketing and online marketing are 2 of my keywords. So I've managed to get those into my headline there. Just click on the little pencil icon to change that. But where you can do a lot more is down here in the background section. So if you just click on edit, you can see that comes up. And what I've done, I've got my same keywords here, which I've used across all my social media and also on my WordPress site. This is how I've tagged my WordPress site with these same keywords. So I've got that consistency across everything. And then I've got a bit of a bio, so like a mini bio here. So I've got all my keywords here and mini bio here, and then click on save to save that. And one thing I wanted to show you on LinkedIn, let's go back to profile. I've seen a massive increase in engagement on LinkedIn recently, and I think it's because I've optimized my profile. And what I'm finding now, gosh, these numbers keep going up and up. This has gone up even since I did the webinar last night. In terms of people viewing my profile, that's usually been around the 5 or 6 mark every week, and I'd say that's typical for me. But what's really increased, this has gone up 3-fold, is a number of times that I've shown up in search results. And so what people will do is they'll go into LinkedIn, use the search bar here, and they'll search for relevant people to connect to based on the keywords. Now, I used to come up in searches 5 or 6 times probably in a week, so it was ticking over, but it wasn't massive. Whereas if you see here, I've come up in search results 20 times in the last 3 days. So that might not seem like a lot, but that's 3 times more than my norm, if you like. So, you know, work out what your sort of baseline is, and then you can track when you're getting more engagement and more traction. I've noticed on LinkedIn too recently that since I've updated my profile with my keywords and have really optimized it, when I post updates, because I'm posting status updates quite regularly on LinkedIn now, I'm getting a lot more people liking me, commenting, endorsing me for things, and there's just a lot more engagement. I'm on the radar with more people, and more people are noticing what I do. So, you know, just imagine the power of that for your business, and that's all from optimizing my profile, that people are coming and finding me. So really, really powerful. And then last but not least, my favorite is Google+, which has got this horrendously huge cover image. It's absolutely massive. I don't know why they've made it so big. The good thing is there's no restriction on the amount of text or what you can do. There's none of this 20% rule that you have on Facebook. So on Google+, anything goes, literally. And again, in the blog post that I've written, which shows you different examples of Google Plus covers, there's one particular one, if I can find him, where's he gone? Stefan Hovanian, here he is. His Google Plus cover, he's a designer, is actually a template that you can use to optimize your Google Plus cover. So that's quite clever, isn't it? He's actually used his cover as a way not only to promote his business, but to actually give a template so that we can use it to design our covers. I think it's actually, there's a lot on it. There's a lot on it, but it's worth having a look at. So what I've done is, when I had my new cover images designed, I just asked them to be made in different sizes, and so I had a huge one made for Google+. And again, you can have your links on there, you can have whatever text you like, whatever pictures you like, you can do a whole collage. Some people do a collage of clients that they work with, or they show the results that they give with that their business gives. So there's some, what I recommend actually is go in and have a play around on Google Plus and have a look and see what other people are doing, especially the sort of the key influencers in the Google Plus world. Have a look and see what they're doing and get some ideas. But to change the cover, you just need to hover over the image there down the right hand side and click on change cover. I'm not going to go into that because I'm not really focusing on the graphics on this webinar, but it's very, very easy to do. So let's go in and let's apply our 3 tips, and let's update our profile. So we're going to go into profile and about. There we are, and here's my profile. Really, really easy. I know some people find Google Plus quite hard to navigate around, but I find it really easy. I mean, it's, if you go in, you see, look, if I want to, there's 3 sections we need to focus on in our Google Plus profile. So let me run through those. Again, applying the 3 rules. We've got the work section here on the left. We've got what they call a story section here on the right. That's quite interesting. And then down on the right, we've got a section called links. So let's start with the work section. What's really interesting about the work section is that what you put in this occupation here, in the top line here, will appear on your cover image. So I've got here, again, this is my number 1 rule is keywords, and you can see I've got my keywords in here under work. So don't put I'm a plumber, I bake cakes. Put your keywords in here. Don't miss an opportunity to get your keywords, especially on Google Plus, because these pages, this about page is like a page. It's a web page. It's not a page within a closed system like Facebook and Twitter. This is an indexed, searchable web page, as if you'd created a website and put an about page up. So this is public domain, indexable, searchable information that you're putting in here. So really, really make the most of it. So I've got my keywords under skills as well, and under occupation, and I've got my website, my link to my website there. When you look up at my cover here, you can see it says works at Spark. So it's putting my website as my place of work. Story is another section to put your keywords in. So all you need to do is click on edit here, and I would use keywords in your tagline. And what I do, there's a key on your keyboard which is a line with a little gap in the middle, and if you use that, you can separate your keywords so the search engines know to search for those keywords separately, but you can put a whole string of them, and that's what I've done across all my social media profiles. So I've put that in my tagline here, and then for the introduction, again, I've got keywords in here. For example, local marketing strategy is one of my keywords, but I've written it in such a way that I'm introducing myself and it's a bit chatty. And then bragging rights, you can put your keywords in here as well. So lots of opportunities to promote yourself, and as I say, all this is indexed and searchable. So just think about people, what will they be typing in if they're going to find your business and your products and services. So lastly, I think the most important section really is the link section. And again, you just need to click on edit down here, and here you can link to all of your other social media platforms. And what you're doing is you're creating almost like a web of interrelated sites. So here I'm linking to YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and down here I've got some of my products again that I'm linking directly to as a contributor, and there's the link section. So I've got some different websites here. So Google is looking at all of this and saying, Cassie Hicks, she's on YouTube, she's got a Women's Way to Wealth Twitter, she's got the Spark Twitter, LinkedIn, and so I'm getting credit and credibility as the author of these sites, as the creator of this content. And I'll cover Google authorship in a separate webinar, but this is already starting to build this credibility and recognition that Google's going to give me for my sites and my content, and it'll know what's relevant for my market and for me. So really, really powerful stuff. So if you do nothing else, go ahead, have a play, update your profiles on the social media. Now what I'd ask of you is please go to probably what's the easiest, probably the Modern Marketing Spark page on Facebook. Post any questions, let me know if you'd like me to do a case study on your social media profiles. I'd really love to do that. I much prefer these sessions to be interactive than me talking to myself. So go ahead, ask me anything you like, and I'd be really happy to answer any questions. One last thing to show you on Google Plus. If you can see here, when you're in your profile, you can view your profile as yourself, or you can view it as the public would see it. So once you've updated it, go in and just click on public like that, and you can see how it looks. So you can see there's my story section, there's my work section, and there are all my links. And make sure, just go through, make sure you've put the links in correctly. They should all be blue and they should all hyperlink like that. So you can just, it's quite clever, isn't it? You can actually test out your profile as the public will see you. So that's the end of this webinar. Thanks for listening. Please send me your questions and I'll speak to you soon.